everybody for joining us this morning. Go to Debo. Good morning, El Boogie. You turned the mic off. You have to yell.
Still ain't on, but
You on now, man.
hey, good morning.
Man, look. Y'all see me running. I'm right. Get Frazier on.
Hey, good morning,
Hey,
Michelle.
Garen's on the line. What are you eating, Michelle?
I hate to be hood, but I got to.
Well, be who
Is
you
that
are.
an apple?
Be you, boo.
Just be yourself, right? No
Which
need
might
to,
work.
that one on
Which
the
mic works.
end. They all work.
They all work. That's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
I know. I hate to be hood, but when I didn't. You said I brought in donuts, everybody, and I know you go to Cranky Al's. I had never heard of that until you start going. I mean, until you had told us about it. So I go out immediately and open the donut box because that's just what I do. The biggest donut in here, or this thing, is an apple fritter. Oh my God. I didn't want to take it. I was like, you're going to look like a greedy cow if you take the biggest thing in the box.
So then why did you take it?
She didn't
If you
care.
didn't want to.
She
Why
And then I
can't
thought about it. I don't go with nobody up in here. When you be on that date, you have to order a salad because you don't want to look like a greedy cow in front of the dude you dating. And he got to be worried about his pocket. So, but I looked around and I said, I don't care about these people. Boy, when I tell you this donut.
Especially around midnight, she does not care about us. Trust me. I got the worst text, man. I felt
You gonna put that out
small.
there?
You texted midnight?
He texts me at midnight
Okay.
talking about stuff I need to know for work in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah. No, there's no work life separation here, home life. No. When I got it, you get it.
no,
The way I
there's
was gonna
none for
give it.
you. I ain't in management.
But then
He
she
considered me-
follows it up with an audio message. So I know she up laughing.
Because I cussed him out. Like, nobody calling me at 12 o'clock in the morning. It's about something you need to know this. No, I don't.
She was disappointed. She thought it was for a different reason.
I've gotten as early as 5 in the morning.
From who?
Dude,
People.
yeah, he crazy.
I got as early as 5.
He hit me at 12:04 a.m.
But I'm up, so
I'm up at 5. I'm not
And you
up
up at 12. Well, at least you were last night.
mind your business.
would you come and just get there?
That's what we gonna do?
She's on the way out.
Why we always do this about my business?
Keon go and get gas at 3 in the morning. Go and
See,
get gas.
that's
Why
what-
you go get gas at 3 in the morning?
Y'all married people need to stop having such
You right
wild
about that.
imaginations about single people.
I am
Y'all need to stop.
institutionalized. You absolutely
I
correct.
am.
You married or you single?
I'm married.
Oh, see, okay,
Yeah.
he quiet too. So yeah, all y'all little married people just be having all these. They out just kicking it. Like,
Boy,
boy,
I'm going like, dude, why are you at the gas station at 3 in the morning?
are you talking about Ken?
Yeah, what is the gas prices cheaper at
No.
3 in the morning?
There's no need for that,
Ken was
Susan.
just a crawler.
There's no time for that, Susan.
Yeah.
And I just
He used to be out all.
we just
all the time.
funeralized Sister
All the
Callie Lewis. She was another one be at the gas station at 2 in the morning. What you doing at 2 in the morning?
Getting
that's-
Chester chicken or something.
Yeah,
else.
but
Who
see,
knows?
that's
No,
what
the Africans ain't working at 2.
Stuff tends to happen
Is that
at
who
that
sell
time of
Chester
morning.
Well, I get my Chester's chicken from the Africans over at I think
the
they're
ones
I went to,
yeah.
they
still there.
I went in there a couple weeks ago, man, and Middle Eastern Indians
That's what I was gonna
are
say.
cooking back there now. I haven't
Okay.
seen that.
At which one?
Florist and Teutonia.
Okay, because I think it's something else.
Yeah, when that brother used to
Appleton
be
or
back
something.
there.
Yeah, man.
I used to fry up some chicken. I don't know why we think that. And I think that black people are the only people in the world that can fry chicken.
We are.
Nah,
Let's be clear.
I
Other
was-
people can fry it, but it don't taste like
I
ours.
had some chicken wings in Panama City, and I had to go back and see who cooked these wings.
And what did you say?
Oh my
Oh, it's in my
God!
back pocket.
And they were, man. So
Don't nobody cook chicken like us. Let's just go and claim that.
is that right?
This is why we'll just claim that. Now y'all act like JJ's cooked chicken better than fish better than anybody ever seen.
So the people who came up with the recipe for Popeyes, black people.
if it wasn't, they stole it from black people.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
It all.
That's right.
Finish it. It
Stole it.
always leads.
They stole it.
Go ahead, finish it.
It always leads back to slavery.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Keith.
I mean, you know, Because you always see a black man invented that. And I'm going like, yeah, maybe not.
Blackety, blackety, black, black.
Maybe
I
not. But
wanna
you
be
know what?
clear.
We can find somebody because what we arguing about that the black people create ice cream in Africa.
We invented everything.
We invented everything. we the
No
little,
slight.
we the little riches of the world.
No,
They just
that's
stole,
right,
They
that's
stole everything. Stole all our stuff.
No slight to the non-black people. But make no mistake, we invented everything. Now y'all might have everything. Y'all might have improved on it, perfected it, stole it.
I still try
But
to figure
we
out.
invented everything.
So when we invented it, was it janky?
No,
And needed improvement?
Don't put that on us.
Well, you said it might have needed some
I said
improvement.
might
Don't
have.
put one on us. Janky. It's a term created by us for us.
Yeah, because you know we'll read
Janky?
something up in a minute.
Oh man. Janky?
See how y'all.
Now I know you didn't want to be
See how you
hood.
take a positive moment and turn it into bashing of the people of the culture.
And now a positive black moment.
Kwabena says we do it for the culture.
We do it for the culture.
Y'all ain't in the club.
We do it for the culture.
You definitely ain't in the club.
Dude.
I ain't gonna talk about you real bad because I mean your donut right now. But
That
here's
would
how much
be.
this donut cost. This joker did
You
not
gonna pay
cost
me?
like $2. No, I'm not gonna pay.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to know so I can hustle up some money to be able to afford it. Because these look rather expensive. And they taste expensive, more importantly.
As
And they come in a beautiful black, sophisticated box.
as I was pulling up to the establishment,
to Cranky
I had to ask myself,
self.
are there any black Are there any black bakeries I could go to before I go into Cranky?
Yeah, good
House?
luck with all that.
Yeah, so the answer was no. So I didn't feel any guilt going into, Cranky House.
Let me just say now, if your product is superior, I'm there. I don't care what color you are. Now I'm gonna support my people every time.
Every time?
Every time.
At time.
But if your product is superior, you in the club too.
Have we gotten to the point now
This is amazing.
where we can, we don't feel the
Looks
same,
that way.
the same level of pressure that we felt to support black businesses? Do you think we're at that point now in our history?
No, we're not, because we don't have enough black businesses and they go out of business every day. They do. They,
Well, they're not open when you're on your way to work.
No. So you said you going the wrong way. I wasn't going that way.
Mm-hmm. I know what you were.
I was
referring to.
saying it's too easy for us to lose our businesses
And
because
I'm
they don't
saying
get a ton of grace from us.
I don't know that they respect their customers.
They don't get a ton of grace from us. We got a lot of people who start businesses who are not schooled in basic social skills and sometimes etiquette.
Well, I think-
But we have more black
You are
businesses
really
that do
giving
it
out
right
a
than
lot
that
of
do it wrong.
passes.
Oh, yeah.
You're giving away a lot of passes
Again,
right now.
we have more black businesses, black owned businesses that do it right than do it wrong.
Okay.
We do.
I won't bitter the difference.
I don't like
with you.
talking with y'all.
I understand. But
Y'all don't understand.
Yeah, I don't like talking with y'all.
No. I like eating your donuts though, but I don't like talking with y'all.
She looked like Precious with that bucket of chicken over there.
You know what?
Wow.
I would be offended.
If she was running, I'd really
She was
I'd be
running with that bucket of
led.
I would be offended. But as I finish
And
this,
that was one of
I am not
the
offended.
realest moments. It was real and surreal at the same time, right?
I never saw that movie. I refuse to
You
see
never
it.
see? Oh my God!
refuse to
Oh,
watch
You
it.
never
man.
watched it?
You
Never.
see why
I
Monique?
refuse to
You
watch
see
it.
why Monique won the Academy Award? Oh my God! But when
Yeah, it was
she's
just
so
too hood
hungry,
for me. I couldn't do it.
and so she go in and order this big bucket of chicken. They bring out the bucket. She snatched the bucket and she run up the street eating the chicken.
Oh, because
She's
she couldn't
hungry.
pay.
She's hungry.
She was hungry.
She's hungry.
What was it? Did she pay for it?
No.
So she was running because she
pay
was
for it.
stealing.
Yeah,
Oh, she wasn't running because she was hungry.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Well,
no,
she was
running
hungry.
because she was
She was running because she
She-
didn't pay.
her
for it. See how
intention
y'all-
was,
see how y'all
no.
do stuff.
no. Her intention going in was, I know I ain't got this money.
So she went in to steal it.
Yeah.
So she was running because she was stealing.
But
She was
Not because she
running.
was
But she was
hungry.
eating.
Okay.
She was that hungry. She didn't wait to where she got to. She was eating
While
she was
running.
while she was
Yes.
running.
Oh, that's a different element. Okay, now,
That's what made it such an interesting scene.
I get your
And then
point.
and then probably the best scene is when Monique, her mama, jump on her, right?
And break the TV. You about
Yeah,
that
throw the TV at her. She running down the
About
stairs.
what?
She they about something. Well, I don't know if it was the whole thing because
See,
it
that's
was
why I
her
couldn't watch
father.
It was too much.
It was her father who fathered that child, right?
Mhm.
So it
Father the child with who?
Precious.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, it
I
was
couldn't do it.
dysfunction
I
that you
couldn't
just
do
couldn't believe. And so then
I wasn't gonna watch that.
Monique says, well, look, it happened to me. This is just something that just happens. So then they talked about how we have generational pathology. It was, I need to get the book.
I like how you dress it up and
What?
use the technical terms to describe.
Well, because it really is. And I think
No,
sometimes-
I'm not saying I appreciate it
Yeah.
because otherwise people will be like losing their breakfast right now because it's such a horrific situation
I
for
mean,
people
all
to
of
be
us
in.
come from some level of dysfunctions in our families, regardless. I mean, that's because it's just human beings. But then it's exacerbated.
I want to be clear. Dysfunction stopped with me.
Okay.
There was no dysfunction for my son.
I get all that.
I got all that.
I got all that. Just like Trump said it's so, don't make it so. Which is really amazing to me that look, people have been lying since they've been people.
You know what? Wait, I'm still mad. I don't want to move on.
What?
You see? What'd you say? I got it. What'd you say? You brushed me off like there was a level of dysfunction over here. That's what it felt like.
No, I would.
That's
never,
what you did.
I would never imply
I got
that.
you.
I told you the story about the time I was talking to my friend, right? So I don't know. We had one.
You got friends? Okay, go ahead.
How about that?
That
Used to
one.
be.
Why not?
Yeah, what? And so we were talking about something. I must have went off like I normally do into something. And so I'm driving up to Lisbon, and she just suddenly said, "Had you ever considered talking to someone?" So I just continue to go on my rant. I get about 3 blocks up. I go, that B just called me crazy. I called her back. I said, you just called me crazy? She said, I wonder what took you so long. Because I was so into my pathology.
You didn't even realize.
I didn't even realize it, man. I'm just, but it to be able to have those conversations about, in fact, it is pathology. My fear, my concern is in some instances, we're normalizing pathology, right? That as human beings, we adapt. And part of our adaptation is, thank you. Part of our
You got one sitting
adaptation,
over there buying.
He clearly don't use it.
part of our adaptation is that it becomes normal or becomes right. And then
Do it again.
It becomes normal. It becomes
Do it
right.
again. They can see it on the cameraman.
Ooh, I did a little cocaine, but I'm all right.
Stop it.
Did a little toot before I got it.
Really? Don't laugh at that, elbow.
Choo-choo.
Don't laugh. Don't
It's
encourage
snowing.
that.
It's snowing.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with all of the men that work at this radio station? Except for the protege.
You know this
And
dude don't
Carl.
see nothing.
All right, until he does something, and then he goes on the list. How
No,
long is your
I love
list?
the protege.
How long is your list?
I love the protege.
How long is
I
your
love
list?
Black Jesus.
Yeah, okay. But how long is your list?
Of what?
You know the list.
I
The
know
sugar
not of
honey
what
iced
you
tea
speak.
list, huh? The sugar honey iced tea
Oh
list.
man, when you on Michelle's list, you truly.
I don't have a list. Let's be clear. Thank you very
And people
much.
blowing up your phone.
It's in my back pocket.
People-
So it's hitting my behind while I'm
people blowing up
talking.
your phone. I don't
Like,
have a
people like
list.
slapping me.
Don't you have? I never want to be on that
No
list.
list.
I remember when I started, me and Michelle was talking. I said, Michelle, I hope we don't break up because that breakup is coming. That breakup is gonna be so bad if
would
we
never.
break up.
Look who ran out to get a donut. Look, he couldn't take it no more. The pressure of seeing me eat. He couldn't take it. Doughboy ran out to get a donut.
The pressure.
Layers ran out to get a donut.
The speech is tonight, right?
What, Kamala?
Yeah, at
Yes.
the Ellipse.
Yes. Nobody even knew what that place was until they had that.
I never knew where the Ellipse was.
Nobody knew.
I always heard about it.
Nobody.
They say it was on the Ellipse, and I'm going, I've been on the mall.
Have
But
you?
it's-
I had never heard anybody
Is,
really
is that
use
that
that.
area on the
All I know is
side,
the back.
right
You can see the
side?
white. It's on the back side of the White House.
Right, okay. But that's not where Lafayette Park is, right?
I don't know. You need to talk to Rep Myers. That is not my town.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know
Lafayette
DC
Park
like
is
that.
where all the protests are. So if you go to Lafayette Park, you'll see everybody
I
protesting.
just know the only reason we all know it is because of the rioters and the staging.
the Ellipse.
And then that Steve Bannon gets out of
Yeah, he gets
his
out of-
4-month jail today because he wouldn't testify before the committee and give them what they needed. So he got held in contempt of court. He going back to jail though on the stealing the money from the wall people. He going right back.
America, America, America.
These are advisors to the president.
I watched a documentary last night.
That's all you do.
I know I watch a lot of them.
man.
And but this is really great. This was back in 1972. Rainbow Push had this big 5-day event in Chicago. I don't know if they had just gotten the building they're in now.
I'm talking about the leading up to the Black Convention, are you?
I don't know if it was leading up to Black, because that was in 72, right?
Yeah, because that's when Shirley Chisholm wouldn't go speak.
Right, but then the Black Expo
Or wouldn't
was,
attend because they
was
wouldn't have
in
women speakers.
Indianapolis.
Right.
But that Black convention was in Gary. It was in
Oh, that's
Gary.
right, because they couldn't find any place to hold
Right, it was in
You're
Gary.
right,
So
you're
Richard
right.
Hatchard had him in
Shoot.
Gary, but he had a thing 5 days.
Okay.
All these performers, they had Cannonball Adderley, they had Marvin Gaye, they had the Temptations, they had the Staple Singers, they had Roberta Flack and Quincy Jones, they had the Jackson 5, they had oh man, there were some folks I'd never even heard of.
What was the event for?
It was a 5-day event, Save the Children, and that's the name of the documentary, Save the Children. So it was a concert. James Cleveland, man. It was
That
incredible.
had to be phenomenal.
And I'm telling you, they went in and did a digital restoration.
Mhm.
So the sound quality,
Where'd you see this at?
it's either on Netflix or
It's called Save the Children.
Save the Children. It's the Save the Children concert 1972.
I will go look for it because
My
that
God.
sounds phenomenal.
Gladys Knight and the Pips. And I'm telling you, the
I mean, and that was back a time when everybody was showing up.
yeah, and they all sounded good.
Mm.
Marvin Gaye did What's Going On at the end. Oh man, it was Ramsey
Yeah, I gotta watch
Lewis.
that.
It was just incredible. And they said that they had released it in the theaters. No one went to see it.
Really?
And I'm trying to think how close that
I
was
wonder when they released
to
it.
Wattstax. Because Wattstax was what, 73?
Hmm.
Which is another great concert. Huh? Netflix?
Netflix? Okay.
Which is another great concert film, Wattstax. Wattstax is
I've never
incredible.
seen either.
You never seen Wattstax?
Mm-mm.
Oh
Never seen
man, the headliner was Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes performed too. Isaac Hayes, but it was Rance Allen.
Really?
Lying on the Truth.
Really?
Oh man, Rufus Thomas, Carla Thomas, and Rufus had on the shorts. He did the funky chicken. Oh man, but Wattstax is a great concert. Summer of Love is also a great concert.
Who did that?
That was Questlove, and that was
Oh, I saw that.
yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it Save the Children. If you love music, you're gonna, man, the performances are incredible. And let me shout out the Pips. 'Cause
Okay,
the
I want to
Pips
just
had-
say I just got a sugar rush from this. I'm about to die.
I was getting ready to wonder when you're gonna have your diabetes attack.
Yeah, I'm
Let's-
having one right now.
let's-
Yeah, would you give me some water? I'm about to die. He got some.
No, it's okay. I got some good water for you.
L, don't get it, L. He got good bougie water. Yes.
Bobby Boucher.
What I actually drink, so I appreciate it.
Oh, you actually drink that?
I do. I like this and I like Perrier. I love the fizz from Perrier.
Perrier does the sodium. That's the problem I used to have with Perrier. I used to drink that, but the sodium.
Is there sodium in
Yeah.
Perrier? Oh, then I need to X that off my list. But I do love Perrier though.
That is people, if people don't believe that there's a difference in the taste of water, there really is.
Well, I tell people, and I only learned this because of Rep Myers and her kidney situation, to the point that you just made about sodium in the water. I didn't realize that like Dasani water has sodium in it. And so her medical professionals had told her like she can't drink Dasani water. She has to look at water to check for sodium content.
Right.
And I didn't have, but to that point about taste, sometimes I heard they put it in there for taste. So yeah, I actually do pay attention, but I've never looked at the Perrier bottle for some reason.
Yeah,
So now
and
that you
then,
told me,
have,
I know.
And really, the people's water is that Ice Mountain water is just great water.
That's what we drink at home is
Yeah,
Ice Mountain.
is great.
I get real
This
upset when I
guy
can't find it.
Was selling these water filters,
Mhm.
and so he put tap water in, and you saw everything. And even though we have great water in Milwaukee,
We do.
he did that, and then someone gave him said, "Someone
Except
give me a
for
bottle
lead.
of water," except for the lid, but that's not in the water.
And
that's
not
in
at
the
homes
deliveries.
after 1972 or whatever.
So he went in, and when he put the ice water in Ice Mountain in, their alkali where it should be, it's a great water.
Yep, that's what we drink.
Out
But like I
east is
said,
Poland Springs. So if you're ever out in DC or New York and you're looking at that Poland Springs, I think they've changed it also Bear something, but Poland Springs is the same company that does house milk.
I didn't appreciate it. And there's been brothers here in the community that have educated me a lot about, like you talked about, the acolyte.
Acolyte.
Acolyte. Because you know nothing about that. You just drink
But it's
water.
interesting because Brenda and Julia says that we need to be careful that we have we don't have too much alkaline. You need a balance.
Okay. Like anything.
And so because I ended up down at Woodman's and down in, is that Racine Kenosha, wherever it is?
Woodman?
Yeah. And this guy drove all the way from Indianapolis to buy alkaline water.
Really?
His brother, yeah. And he was going on. But you gotta, because here's stuff,
Everything is in
pH
moderation.
balance. You need to balance it because sometimes we go in and we just overload the system.
I remember one of my friends was juicing and he was on a carrot juice thing. And so his vision is like, perfect. But one day he talking and he held his hands out and I'm like, your hands are orange. And he was like, that's from the juicing. Like his skin, literally, he was juicing so much that his palms, you could see they was turning orange. Honest to God. Here in Milwaukee. Honest to God. Hands
What was he juicing?
He was juicing carrot juice. And he was drinking so much. Because, people get like gung ho. Oh, this is the best thing ever. I got it. And
Well, you have a lot of people, though, who are also doing like raw vegetables.
what do you mean?
Raw. They eat raw vegetables. You don't prepare them. You don't
Well,
cook
the
them.
highest nutrient value.
Right. Because
when
you
they're
cook a
raw.
lot of the nutrients out when you cook.
Mhm.
Well, what kind of raws are we talking? Because
Raw broccoli, raw
lettuce.
somebody says that why Trump is so orange.
No, jeez.
No, that's called spray y'all makeup.
Can I, and thank you, Texter. We should be concerned about
Whose
what
phone is it?
What's the music?
Oh,
She is in a diabetic coma. Why are the angels singing?
I'm about to die.
Because maybe they let you know something.
Y'all got people laughing at me.
Why do I hear Sherman's? Oh,
This donut ain't no joke.
Am I the only one that hears the bells?
Am I the only one to hear the bells? I feel like a little kid on the
These
side.
bells, right? Y'all do hear the
that
bells.
movie Angels in the Outfield. Why am I only one seeing angels? Oh, you think he coming to take you home?
I'm just saying that sugar because I haven't eaten anything, so
It
that
took
sugar
me,
got
like,
me. Jesus.
3/4 of that movie to realize that Bruce Willis was dead.
Did it really take you that long?
Really?
6 cents.
Yeah. It took about how long did it take you?
I knew when I came in.
You listen to the voice. We're waiting on the paramedics.
Tell him to hurry up.
Hurry up, Lord!
One at the bottom.
We're going to take a break, and hopefully Michelle's going to be all right. We'll be right back.
We'll see who already.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice, and at 9:45 we'll be joined by Dr. Michael Eric Dyson here to talk about the election. All hands on deck. As I was going to break, I am more and more disturbed by what we witnessed Sunday at that rally at Madison Square Garden, and yes. It was reminiscent of the German boats who met in the 30s there in Madison Square Garden in support of Nazi Germany. But when you hear the rhetoric, I don't understand Stephen Miller. I don't understand Stephen Miller. He is Jewish, and I think his folks weren't they Holocaust survivors or died in the Holocaust?
Survivors. His parents made it to.
I mean, the idea of this nativism, which is, and I wish it was just,
But both of the candidates is married to people that are immigrants, or the parents was immigrants. Melania is an immigrant.
You're talking about on the Republican side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. Well, really, all of them. Everybody immigrant.
Well, everybody's an immigrant with the exception of
Me.
the indigenous people, right?
And me.
And
Really?
They were doing a powwow last week in the Barrett Center.
I saw it.
Yeah, they were doing a powwow because someone got their stuff stolen. Yeah, someone had stolen.
Somebody stole the outfits?
They stole outfits, I think drums.
No.
Yeah. If you've ever been to a powwow, though, that's incredible. That is it's an incredible spiritual event.
Is that like a smokeout?
It depends on the tribe or nation what you're going to do.
Why is you answering him? Why are you answering? Why are you even seriously answering what this? And you just pull it all at your little button and
all
scholarly.
Yes,
doing his best Michael Eric Dyson.
It has nothing to do with no tribe.
I'm like, you was talking to Bubba from up the street. Why are you answering him?
So they had a smokeout down there. Yeah, it was indigenous people, and they were.
So he just get on the road. That's
what is it? What is it though? They smoke peyote, and I met.
That's what was in the peace pipe.
Yeah, that's what's in the pipe. And
what is peyote? Is that a tobacco?
It's a very very strong tobacco. I think what we used to call it back in the day, wacky tobacco.
Oh, so this is better than loud. It's better than loud.
Ooh, dude, I think it's like an hallucinogen.
Right.
Isn't that something like Aaron Rodgers when he went down kind of the same?
He's going to hang out in the dark for a while.
Yeah, but what I didn't realize was that you have to be, for lack of a better term, certified in order to be what they call a person who handles the pipe.
Well, there's a lot of certified niggas around here. They handling that pipe, boy.
Well, I'm sorry, went down that rabbit hole.
It could go in so
y'all
many directions.
talking about the pipe now.
Not that pipe.
Not that pipe.
It could go in
But
so
it
many
would be the
directions.
equivalent of, as an ordained minister, I can administer the rites of the church. The rites of the church would be, your
weddings,
obsequy, your nuptial.
You could do weddings, funerals,
communion, baptism, christening. Right, those things I can do it, and it's the right RITE of the church, and so you're able to do it. So it's the same thing with that person who has been designated as a person who can, basically administer the pipe.
Man, Jackie told me a joke this morning, and been trying to figure out how to.
Don't. If you gotta do all
If
of
you
that,
gotta do that.
tell it.
How to take it.
Oh, how to take it.
Oh no, tell it then. Was it against you? Tell it.
It wasn't against me. It wasn't against me. Oh yeah, by all means, tell it. She said the church mother got up and did the church announcement. She said, the pastor has said for all the sisters he wants us to go out and work the polls. So
the pastor said, what?
He wanted them to go out and work the polls for the election.
all the sisters to go out.
Yeah, you want the sister to be sure you go out and work the
How come he
polls
want all the members to
and
go
really
out?
be involved. Said the next week they had to go down to Ricky's and
POLE.
yeah,
POLL. But it wasn't like the ignorant Negroes who was sitting up
they had
there.
to go get the sisters. Me and the pastors going down there and get them next week. They misinterpreted what the pastor
During
had
one of the
said.
election centrals, I was having a conversation with Andrea Pratt and Priscilla Cox Jones, right? And they were talking about how they've been in the business since they were little. They said, we've been in the business. So then Priscilla said, yeah, because they just drop us off at a corner.
Yeah, that could be
I need you to be work that corner.
misconstrued.
That did sound good.
Wait, one of them said, yeah, we used to be in the alley all the time. We would pull up in the alley.
Like, Mom would be up in the alleys checking, I guess, garages and stuff. And she said she'd write all this down.
So that's what's
So
happening.
they said, nah, we didn't want to go into family business.
The daughters of the movement.
Daughters of the movement, but nah, she said, drop this off on the corners. And we were going like, oh,
Stayed in somebody's alley.
right.
Wow.
But anyway, these ignorant folks, look, spell checking. I know the folks who do that, but I told the story. Yeah, that they were talking about a minstrel show,
Oh, yeah, I heard you mention that.
and they spell minstrel M-E-N, stroll, not
What do you-
M-I-N.
What do you want? I mean, what do you want from people? You act like you want perfection.
Speaking of Precious,
Oh, look how much weight she has lost.
That ain't none of her.
she looked good.
That's Jill Scott.
That is not Jill Scott.
I think it is.
That is not Jill Scott.
No, it's not Jill Scott.
That's divine.
That's Divine Joy
Joy
Randolph.
Randolph.
What was she just in?
I don't know.
Hopefully a bigger dress.
There ain't nothing wrong with that dress. Why you say that? That dress fits just fine. It ain't nothing tight.
There's too many puffs going on.
Well, you said a bigger dress. Why would it be bigger than that?
I don't know, Michelle.
You know, yeah,
It
you
looks a little
keep your little
clownish.
fashion commentary to yourself.
Looks a little clownish.
Clownish.
Cowish then.
You sounded like a boy and best man. See you out of order.
I
When
said
Jill
cowards
Scott
'cause
put
of the
that
dots.
that negligee on.
Because of the dots.
She looked fine.
Ooh.
She had top head.
Never mind,
She
Michelle.
looked fine. Leave that lady alone.
Kelly Ripa.
It's sad that nobody will work with her but her husband. It's so sad.
Who's that? Kelly Ripa?
Mhm.
Mm.
You know, she had a mental breakdown after Strahan left.
What was that about?
Strahan was about to be on Good Morning. You could do Kelly Ripa or you could do Good Morning America. Which one you gonna do? Dude, I'm out. I'm out. The travel budget alone for Good Morning America, crazy. You're gonna be everywhere.
I purposely, when I go home now, I go down to 60th Street and make sure I drive past 60th and Capitol.
What, you checking on numbers?
Yeah. And yesterday when I drove by midday, there was a line. So
You've been watching the numbers on the site?
I need to go in and do that. But yeah, there's definitely.
You feeling better before you depart?
That's what I'm really trying to do is like get my
Why don't you go in there and sit down by yourself?
what you tell your mama?
Stay in here.
Tell your mama
What you
to
said
go
about my mama?
We don't want you having a diet up in here.
Tell your mama to go sit down by herself. Why'd
We
you
had a
do that?
situation one time with Keon was definitely having whatever he was
Oh
having,
my God.
and he was back there, and I'm going like, is he? Or the time I thought Rick had died, because Rick was like he had just because Rick. I don't even know when Rick slept, so I guess he caught up in his sleep here, and he was like, looked like he was in a coma. I kept going, Rick.
Oh, Rick, who used to run the board?
Yeah, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Was he sitting here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Rick had some moments.
Man.
You'd be scared for him.
And it was good to hear from Jermaine Reed yesterday.
That was cool.
that was
I was
cool.
listening in.
Yeah,
I heard
to-
that.
To hear from Jermaine.
Because his morning show used to be a hot mess. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and 4 hours.
It
That
was
dude
way.
used to do
It
4
was
hours.
way. Like, it was a
Ooh.
whole lot. The first thing in the morning, you be dying like, come on, Jermaine. And the children is being raped. You'll be like,
Gotta get my
Big
morning cup
bro.
of coffee.
can you wait till we get my kids to school? Can my kids get into class first?
The children. It's getting.
I need my blood pressure medication.
Oh,
Oh,
that used
Lord.
to be so funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
Oh my
he
God!
was a
When he
piece
would
of
go to
work.
commercial
And I'm
break, I
telling
said, I know.
you, he used this whole counter.
Yeah,
It would be, he was prepared this whole
Literature
counter.
everywhere.
Yeah, and I'd be looking at him like he looked like he'd been through the ringer. And I kept going like, they were going like, could you do? No, 2 hours is long enough. 4 hours? Shoot.
Jermaine used to
Give
be
him-
hilarious,
Yeah.
man. Oh my God. And then I think one day Keon called me. He said, "You know this Negro got a onesie on up here in the studio." I said, "A onesie."
Wow.
He said, "Imagine Jermaine." And then when I had Jason Fields on one day, Jason Fields came in the studio, and it was summertime, and Jason Fields had on a corduroy jacket,
Uh-oh.
and I said, "Oh, summer corduroy."
Ain't no such.
And
Yeah.
just for me saying summer corduroy, it started a whole thing.
Dude.
So Jermaine Reed was the first one. This Negro posted himself in a full corduroy outfit, standing up posing. And he was like, summer corduroy is back. And then all these brothers started posting.
I did summer corduroys. It was called shorts. So my mama wasn't throwing out no pants, so you out there corduroy shorts.
Because I mean, I was
Roll shorts in
I
the
was
summertime.
when Jay feels like, Jay,
You
is
know-
that corduroy?
You know,
In
them
the
shorts
summer?
wouldn't have been bad if they'd have put some kind of little hem in them.
Right. Or they be even.
Yeah, if they could cut even, They have ridges on the strings hanging.
One leg longer than the other.
This what y'all parents was doing to y'all?
Hey,
They would cut them short, man. If them pants got too short, or they, if you get some new pants, but okay, now you can make shorts out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Shoot, yeah.
Or my mother did.
And there was no consideration for the cut line?
No. My mother was seamstress.
Hell no.
My mother did hair. She didn't do clothes.
So they could be
They
jagged?
take a pair of scissors and go across there. One good time, and what you got is what you
Right.
got.
She didn't line them up. She didn't
No.
measure you nothing. Just cut the legs off.
You just-
And you
Y'all-
out there. In
y'all wore
90
them outside?
I think that's how Daisy Dukes got started.
You out there 90-degree weather with corduroy shorts
Yeah.
on.
So y'all just was allowed to just leave the house like that?
Yeah.
You on the block? Where you going?
No.
But here's something that young people are doing today that
So
I
y'all
just-
didn't wear cutoffs? Oh, that's right.
That had a hemline that came from the store as shorts. We didn't
Well,
make her.
then they
we
weren't
didn't make our
cutoffs.
own.
That's
Yeah,
middle,
yeah.
that's middle class, but
It's
Yeah.
not middle
for
class.
po folks,
Us,
we didn't
that's-
make our
for
own.
the po,
That's high end.
right?
High end.
Right.
High
You probably
maintenance.
had Hawaiian punch as opposed to high C.
Or Tang.
Did you have Tang?
Everybody had Tang because
Not
of the
everybody.
astronauts.
Not everybody had Tang.
Everybody did because of the
Every now and then you
astronauts.
know.
My
you-
grandmother
you-
did Tang. We didn't do Tang.
But Tang wasn't good to me. But yeah, we had Tang. My brother
You
loved
know,
Tang.
It was new then.
You know,
People-
y'all sound like Dave Chappelle and his stovetop stuffing. I gotta try that. I've been seeing the commercials.
Man,
You've never had stovetop stuffing?
No,
It's a new one?
I'm saying Dave Chappelle
Oh.
talked about when he was a child.
Oh, he never
and
had
he went to
stovetop
his white
stuffing.
friend's house and they had stovetop stuffing.
Mm.
And he was like, "We don't have that at our house."
And I had a girlfriend. That's all she could cook. Stovetop stuffing.
That's nasty.
Man.
She
my-
made great stovetop stuffing.
Then why is you want to trans?
String beans.
Look at his face.
'Cause that's all she could cook.
But there's no such thing as great stovetop.
It is when,
No,
when it's made right. It is.
No,
If you're
there's
having
no way to
stuffing-
make that right.
Yeah, if you're having stuff and
That's
stovetop is good.
nasty.
put it in my wife's hands. She do it.
I put it in my regular dressing mix just because
No,
it's a quick way to get some extra
no, we
breadcrumbs
don't
and
do that.
sage. Anyway,
We don't do that.
I'm done with y'all. Goodbye.
All righty.
All right, no, now I can't talk sitting up here talking about stovetop stuffing. What we got a real existential thing going on. We talked about stovetop stuffing. Good morning. We have on the line with us Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing very well, man. I'm doing very well. You know, I have an autographed copy of one of your books,
Man, I appreciate that. Sir.
the Black Presidency.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you support me on that.
Oh man, I have several of your books. It's not that I got the one you did on Tupac. I've got, man, you are prolific in a lot of different ways. We're here talking about this election. Can I do this? And can you respond in your clergy hat? Are you familiar or aware of the sermon that Donnie Swagger preached? Have you heard anything about that?
Man, don't make me cuss this morning like that, sir. I'm trying to maintain my decorum as a Baptist minister, sir. You know,
And he went after your homeboy.
Who is that?
Bishop Sheard.
Oh, right. Look, here's the thing. Donnie Swagger's real religion is whiteness. His real theology is white supremacy. His real God is white civilization. So Donnie Swagger is a white evangelical. Emphasis on white, not evangelical, as the Reverend Dr. Frederick Haynes talked about it. For Donnie Swagger to have the unabashed temerity, the unmitigated gall, to talk about the black church and be critical of it. Oh, I will be considered racist, but I'm going to tell the truth. Tell the truth. You are a racist. Tell the truth. You're racially blind to the possibilities that your own religion is the source of so much chaos in this country. There would be no black church without the white church's refusal to acknowledge the humanity of black people. When Richard Allen and the rest of those black people pulled out of the balcony where they were consigned of the church and started their own, it was because of white supremacy. It was because white Christians valued their ethnicity over their ethics, their race over their religion, their pigment over God's providence. So Donnie Swagger is a vocal amplification of a white supremacist ethic that is deeply ahistorical and has no understanding of the profound political implications of the practice of white supremacy from the very beginning of evangelical faith among white people.
You know, we've heard this term, this is the most existential election. Do you think that term is that we're doing overkill with that term, or is this one of the most, if not the most existential elections of our lifetime?
It is one of the most existential, metaphysical, philosophical, anthropological, whatever the heck you want to call it, is one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime and indeed of all time. Yes, because what's on the ballot is not merely a woman of high integrity, of profound intelligence, of deep character, and a love and an embrace of the best of America versus a white man whose whiteness is paramount, not his commitment to democracy, not his commitment to truth, not his commitment to making certain that America serves all of its citizens. What's on the ballot is a vision of who we are as a nation. Either we embrace the beautiful, loving, democratic small d possibility that all human beings have worth as citizens versus a man of vitriol and hate and violence who refuses to see the integrity of the other. He otherizes human beings. Look at what happened at Madison Square Garden. When you insult Puerto Ricans or black people, when you insult gay and lesbian and transgender and bisexual people, when you insult everybody who doesn't belong to your narrow ethnic or racial category, that's what's at stake. Do we believe in the peaceful transfer of power, or do we believe in the imperial and imperious expression of a malignant narcissist who is incapable of understanding the fundamental principles of American democracy? That's what's on the ballot.
The conversation we're having, and I don't know how much of this is really inflated, but we talked about supposedly the number of black men who are moving, who would be supportive of Donald Trump. There's an article that appeared in the Washington Post yesterday by Brian Broom, where he talks about why some black men could not see themselves voting for a black woman or a woman in general. Do you think that that's pervasive, or that's just a small sliver of our universe, our population?
Yeah, I think it's a small sliver. Look, black women are the number one constituency voting for Kamala Harris. You know what number two is? Black men.
Yeah.
So, we're voting at around 85%. Now, we would love to try to match the sisters, but they always outdoing us. So we ain't gonna measure up to that. But we can acknowledge that we are the second strongest constituency for Kamala Harris. So are there some patriarchs and misogynists and sexists? Of course, among all men. And again, among some constituencies within, women's or female camps. So you don't have to be a man to be a sexist. You don't have to be male to be a patriarch or a misogynist. So the thing is, black men, by and large, are deeply and profoundly supportive of Kamala Harris. Are there concerns? To be sure. Are there issues? To be sure. Are there some men who have legitimate gripes? Yes. And are there some men who are simply, basically patriarchal and misogynistic and sexist? Yes. But they don't constitute the overwhelming majority of black men in this voting bloc or in this country.
Based on everything we've seen, including what you mentioned, the looked like a bunk meeting in the 30s at Madison Square Garden. Why is this race so close?
It shouldn't be, but it is. You're right. Part of the tragedy, the trauma of America is the denial of history. This is why a governor in Florida is trying to ban books and to erase history, because many people don't understand. This is that meeting at the Madison Square Garden was akin to a Nazi buildup in the 30s and other places in the world, right? In Germany and the like. We don't see the parallels globally or even nationally because we are so ignorant of that history. And it's so close, unfortunately, because some people have been hoodwinked and bamboozled, as Malcolm would say, about who Kamala Harris is and have been lied to in a fatally malicious and mendacious way by a man who claims to be interested in the best of America, but who is a malignant narcissist who's concerned about his group and his way and his distorted belief about the other. And so as a result of that, it appeals to the bigotry and the proto-fascism of certain segments of the American population. And the trauma of that, the tragedy of that, is that we have so many people who are willing to fall in line. But I believe we have an even greater number of people who will fight back against that.
From your perch, from your prophetic perch, when we hear terms like fascism, I think people, it's like an abstract. Why should we be fearful of the possible advent of fascism?
Well, look, if you a black person in America, racism and white supremacy were a dry run for fascism. Everything that America more broadly is concerned about with fascism, not being able to vote, not having the right possibility to establish democracy, not having your citizenship respected, not having the integrity of your vote counted, not having your personhood respected by the powers that be, not allowing you to govern the forces that determine your life. All of that has been presaged and predicted in white supremacy and racism. So that's the application of white supremacy and racism to the broader world. And we ought to be concerned about that because it is an undemocratic, unjust rejection and repudiation of the will of the people. That's why it is so fundamental for us to choose Kamala Harris, and that's why it's so fundamental for us to vote in this election.
What was really? I don't remember, so you'll correct me. But why are you so strong in your support for Kamala Harris?
Well, because she's the best woman for the job. She's the best person for the job. She has a vision of America that is Catholic, small c. I don't mean a religion. Mm-hmm. That's universal, that's broad, that's embracing many people. She's already committed to having a Republican in her administration, not for show, but because she's interested in a wide variety of viewpoints. You remember Doris Kearns Goodwin wrote the book, A Team of Rivals. You know, sometimes we have to engage people who think differently than us, who see the world differently than us, but who are committed to a broader principle of support and stability for the country we all love. And that's why I'm supporting her. And I'm also supporting her because the man on the other side is an existential threat to American democracy, to an American way of life that cherishes others, that doesn't demonize them, hate upon them, spew vitriol toward them, but understands the legitimacy of being part of this American democracy, no matter your race, your creed, your color, your religion, your sexuality, or your gender. That's why I'm supporting her.
Yeah, we had it was interesting when you said democracy, and God, I can't think of my guy's name down at Trinity. When he said democracy was on the ballot and preached an incredible sermon.
Yeah,
on
Otis Moss the third. Yeah,
there at Trinity Church of Christ in Chicago. We were
yeah,
meeting.
Otis Moss the third.
Yes.
Otis Moss the third.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Mhm.
And we were having a conversation with the Democratic operatives here, and they used that term. And we were saying early on, when you start talking about democracy, for some folks, is that really an abstract for them? How do they get from democracy being abstract to it being tangible? Because when you talk about that, it just seems to be high ideal, and some people just
Right.
can't grasp what that means.
Well, look, break it down for them then. Democracy is about who runs your neighborhood. Democracy is about what prosecutor is in place if your son or daughter, unfortunately and tragically, might be hurt or harmed or even killed by the police. Who makes the decision about whether that police person will be held to account? That's what democracy is. Democracy is who can vote in your neighborhood. If you have a returning citizen from, say, imprisonment, are they allowed to vote? That's what democracy is about. Democracy is about politics. Politics is about the just distribution of resources in a time of crisis. How much are you paying for your light bill, for your water? Do you have a school system that supports you and your children? Do you have communities where zoning allows a broad variety of citizens to occupy space? These are all political concerns. What's the nature of the school you go to, that your kids go to? Is your tax base being supported by, is your tax base supporting your schools? Is your property tax going to support your particular school and your neighborhood? These are all questions of democracy, of politics, of how just the distribution of resources will be for you. So if we're going to break it down, that's what it is. And that is being attacked and assaulted by a man who is running roughshod over the history of American practices when it comes to democracy.
Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, we appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a great honor to be able to have this conversation with you, talking about the importance of this upcoming election. One of the things that I was thinking is it's okay to be skeptical, right? I mean, I think if people are feeling a certain level of skepticism, but then I think they have the responsibility then to go and get the information that might address that skepticism. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming in, taking the time.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
I appreciate it, brother.
God bless you.
All right. Bless you. You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I'm getting better with the veggies, but I'm a
We on the
man.
same
You-
page.
Yeah.
We on the same page.
Who was it? Was it Dennis Leary? He was talking about political correctness and how we're just so fastidious with our diets. And he said, look, I want a hamburger from a cow that smoked. The most the healthier the meat, the better the meat for me, man. I got to stop eating so much meat though. I got it's but yeah, I don't do sweets.
Yeah, I'm not huge on that either. My
Every-
kids' Halloween candy lasts a very long time to the point where we
But
have
she
to
does
toss
have
it.
me make her brownies.
Yes, she makes good brownies.
Regular brownies.
She likes walnuts. in
Walnuts
hers.
in it.
Although I made peanut butter ones for her, peanut butter and chocolate brownies for her birthday one year.
Yeah,
Because she loves peanut butter and chocolate.
yeah. Me and my kids tore that up.
You put chocolate in my peanut butter. You put peanut butter in my chocolate.
Hey.
That's the Reese's. What they call the Reese's Buttercup, right?
Mhm.
Is that what? But what? Where's the butter? It's
The
chocolate
peanut
and
butter.
oh, peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Mhm.
Oh, like I didn't know that song was about peanut butter.
Now you know, Keith. Now you know.
Yeah, and Keon would go, dude, they just said peanut butter about 16 times in the song. I'm so into the groove, I didn't even know. We're singing about, let me get this straight. What are we singing about? Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter healthy? Is
It can be if it doesn't have a lot of added sugar in it. It's good fat. So some protein, good fat.
I know
But some of the
people-
ones you buy have a lot of sugar added into them.
But I know people will do it before they do workouts. Sometimes
Mhm.
they'll just do a little peanut butter.
Yeah, because it's got a little carbs and a little protein in it.
Peanut butter protein shakes are disgusting. I just want to add that.
Which ones?
Peanut butter protein shakes, they're nasty.
Any protein shake is nasty. To me.
But not really.
I make a very good one.
Yes.
I make
She
one
showed
that
us how to make
tastes
good
like
one.
chocolate smoothies.
You see her
From,
face when she was describing
You know,
it?
Wendy's, what do they call
Fried in
those?
it.
Frosties. They
Frosty.
taste just like a Frosty.
As opposed to the diabetic tea that they do at McDonald's.
Oh, right.
Sweet
Yeah.
tea.
You mean that cause diabetic tea.
The
cause diabetes.
that you go get the sugar.
The
Mhm.
sugar, yeah.
It's interesting because it wasn't until I got to PWIs, predominantly white institutions, that I realized that European folks usually make iced tea, except for Southern European folks.
Hmm.
There's no sugar in it
In their tea.
Mhm.
in the tea. You know, you don't. Now, when I drink coffee, I drink tea. I drink it without sugar.
Mhm.
But I think when it comes to iced tea, that it needs to have some sugar in it.
Yeah.
I like it both ways.
Yeah, but McDonald's just took it to a level that
Yeah. And the line would be wrapped around. Everybody's just getting some tea.
it's just like, God, you don't want to lose your customers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they had to make lots of changes, the lard fries or whatever they had to change the oil.
and
for
I
that.
don't eat McDonald's fries now because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of McDonald's fries.
They fries nasty.
I like Culver's fries.
Culver's,
If I'm going to
they
eat
do
fries,
crinkles.
yes.
Yeah.
I get cheese curds. I don't get they fries.
What is a cheese curd?
It's just cheese wrapped up in a ball of deep fried.
Cheese curd is that mysterious thing like a mock chicken leg. It's just this mysterious thing where people go, I don't know what's in it. All I know is it's good.
In
It's
school, that
just
was my favorite
cheese.
day, my chicken leg day.
Mock chicken leg day. She's from Racine, so she doesn't know
Oh,
about.
I had mock chicken
I'm pretty
legs.
sure.
I don't know if I had them in Racine or Michigan. I think in Michigan, but
Really?
I had mock
In
chicken legs.
Michigan.
Yeah, I think I had mock chicken legs.
Oh,
They were
man.
delicious.
I remember
Yes.
getting to Dominican and going through the lunch line going, what day is my chicken leg day?
And I made friends with like the people who brung lunches, so they would go get their mock chicken.
Right.
from me.
Oh, that's what girls would double lunch. That's what girls would double, because someone, Michelle was just talking about this, that usually girls, especially when you become teenagers,
Yeah.
you're self-conscious eating around men, right? So you're not.
I was.
You
I
what?
got 2 mock chickens on my plate.
No, but what I'm
Oh.
saying is, with the exception of mock chicken legs,
Oh yeah.
but they didn't. But man, and to the point that on third Fridays, count day, that's what they're serving at MPS, mock chicken legs.
Now I see them in the stores. Are they the same or are they different? I don't.
They are. My
They-
wife makes them
they
just
are.
like in school.
Really?
Yeah. With the gravy and
Because
the
I
mashed
told people, if
potatoes.
you just want the gravy, just go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get their institutional gravy, because that's what they put on an institutional brown gravy.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make everybody sad now.
But
What?
now-
Really?
But now
What?
cheeseburger day
Uh-huh.
was always big, and pizza day was
Pizza
always
day.
Pizza
was-
day.
Oh,
Pizza
pizza
day
day.
was
Today.
really big.
The pizza was this thin.
big.
Oh no, our
It was-
pizza was like this. It was like,
Chicago
who wants to
style.
eat that? Yeah, it was just
Oh,
giant. I
man,
like
their
thin
pizza
pizza.
was, oh my God, pizza day was good. Meatloaf day was pretty good too.
Well, meatloaf was okay.
I mean, that was okay.
But they do beets. I never, MPS would do
Yeah,
beets. So
yeah.
I don't know if they had something with, why are you doing beets? We're going to throw that away.
Nobody eats it. Yeah,
Well, it's supposed to have been very healthy for you.
they
wasn't it?
are very healthy
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah, but
I
it's
like
nasty.
beets.
And green peas.
There's very few vegetables I don't like.
Man, the peas I like pea day because you get them with that straw.
So
Oh, and
Oh,
you'd shoot
not-
them.
not to eat
oh,
'em.
boy.
that was-
every
I
child.
could just
Mean.
see you as a
I
little
could just
kid. I could
mean.
see you looking the
Tearing the
same,
whole
shooting little peas
cafeteria
across
up.
it.
that straw with the peas. You just stab them like that, and they go in the straw.
Well, remember that's why they took the sticks out of the mock chicken legs.
Mm.
By the time you came along, they didn't, but there used to be a pointed stick
Mm-hmm.
on the mock chicken leg.
Mm.
And there's some
Yeah.
stores sell them that way. Yeah, but they were
So you could
used
pick it up and eat it if you wanted to.
Yeah, right off the stick.
off the stick, but they
Like a
were
popsicle.
That's dumb.
used.
But it was a round wooden stick
Mm.
that had a point, so they could
Stuck
stick
it in there.
Speaking of popsicles, did you
Mhm.
like popsicles?
Who doesn't like popsicles?
Yeah, I like popsicles.
Which one?
I think the pina colada popsicles. Those are my
Pina
favorites.
colada.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the white one, the white popsicles. You know the long 50-cent ones.
The big
The
popsicle.
long popsicles.
Oh no, we were talking like dreamsicle,
Now, dreamsicles,
it's
that's
nasty.
not a popsicle though. You don't
It's
like
ice cream.
dreamsicles?
No,
bomb pop.
Bomb pop?
it wasn't my favorite. That's the firecracker, right?
Yeah.
No,
I liked Bomb Pops when I was little, and then they came out with that chocolate banana one.
Ugh.
Ugh.
You like that one? See, I liked that one
Oh.
too a lot. But my favorite now is going to be those. Is it Outblast? Whatever. They're the they make their fruit popsicles, and their grape one and pomegranate are my favorites.
Mhm.
I know Kennedy got addicted to them when they took her adenoids out when she was little. So she'll eat a popsicle. It was good because popsicles were kind of the ice cream man. But I love dreamsicles. I'm not a big ice cream guy, but I'll eat a dreamsicle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dreamsicles and push-ups. That orange.
Oh, the push up.
Yeah.
That was
I love
sherbet
the
though,
push-up.
right?
Yeah, I
Push-ups
didn't
were
like
sherbet.
those.
Yeah, but then they came out with this different flavor push-up where it had different
Oh, yeah.
colors in it. That was delicious.
My sister loved the push-ups.
Yeah, I really wasn't. a fan.
Someone said that, and I don't know how true this is, that on a really, really hot day, people don't eat ice cream. On a
Yeah,
really,
there
really
are
hot
some-
day.
Well, one, it melts everywhere, but two, it's so creamy, especially like custard in that. It's,
Right.
you want something more, at least I do. I like more popsicle or something like that. Now that
Slushy.
Culver's has
Yeah,
those
like a
freezy
slushy.
things, ice drink that they have at Culver's, things like that, as opposed to ice cream. Or I'm not a big ice cream.
And I know
person
we're
anyway.
having this
Yeah.
conversation, be healthy, be you, but it's interesting in terms of some of the things that we eat. And we always say that a lot of our illnesses are, related to diet
Yeah.
and how our diet impacts on it. But I was just curious. All right. So today, as we pivot from dreamsicles to lung cancer,
Mm. Nice way to
I know.
bridge that gap
Great
between the two.
segue.
Yeah.
someone just texted me. They said lasagna day.
Oh yeah, that was big.
Lasagna
Mm.
day was big. Yeah, with the
Lasagna,
salad on the side
yeah.
and the French dress.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know that spaghetti wasn't in one pot
Mm.
until I got to school.
There are a lot of
Mhm.
things that we didn't
Huh?
eat in our home.
What are you saying?
Pot spaghetti.
Yeah, we make spot spaghetti, whereas
spaghetti.
they put you might have the noodles on the plate and pour sauce on it.
I didn't like the spaghetti day.
Who did that?
Well,
Yes.
that's how if you go to a restaurant, they put your
That's how,
noodles on the
that's
plate.
how we ate
for-
spaghetti in
That's
high
it.
school.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way I make it at home.
Oh,
Where
so
you do pasta and meat sauce.
you don't mix
No,
it all
I-
together
I
in a
mix
mix
it.
pot.
I'm a mixer.
My
I need
mama
everything.
did it in a pot, man.
Yeah,
was
that's
Yeah,
how a lot
that's
of
one
people
thing.
do it.
spaghetti.
And it was usually a side dish with like fish or something like that.
right. Or for us, it could be the dish.
That's the dinner. That's the object.
A little light bread,
no.
a little butter on my light bread. That was
the main
that was the thing.
No,
man.
no.
Oh, see, my mother
So,
didn't cook
did-
things like
did
that.
y'all
She
have-
didn't think that was food.
Did y'all have meat in your spaghetti?
Yeah, ground beef in there. Uh-huh.
Actually, the
And the
spaghetti
garlic
that you
bread,
do
that's
for the fish fry usually is kind of meatless. It's sparse in meat.
Yeah.
But no, man, my mom would load that up, man. It would be, we eat off that pot 3-4 days.
A long time.
You know how big that pot was?
That's what if I got a couple of doubles, I gotta
Right,
do.
so
I'll
Rhonda
make
made
spaghetti for my
me the
kids.
first time. I'm going,
My wife
why
talks
is it
about
in the
my
pot? What, how am I supposed to eat this?
Yeah, that
My
don't
wife-
look
My
right.
wife talks about my mother because when I was coming up, my mother would take hot dogs, polar sausages,
Yeah.
whatever. It all going in there.
Oh, yeah, my grandmother in her spaghetti. Because my grandmother couldn't say spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
She
Spaghetti.
said, yeah, I'm going to make some spaghetti. She put some hot dogs if she didn't have ground beef.
No, she had ground beef. She just, hey,
She put it
Oh,
on
that's
the
good.
meat lovers
Stretchers.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink
yeah,
spaghetti.
stretchers, man. That's what I called it.
Mm.
Well, I know that my grandmother did use bread to stretch ground beef.
I never heard of that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Oh.
yeah. You stretch
Mhm.
ground beef, she would put it in because you use bread
Or
and
oatmeal.
or oatmeal, right? Same thing you do with a meatloaf.
Mm.
Mhm.
About that.
All right, we will have a cookbook available.
Right.
Everything we discussed on the air, there will be a cookbook, and you can go and
Chicken sink spaghetti,
chicken sink spaghetti when that was
bread burgers,
burgers.
oatmeal burgers.
Who makes chicken spaghetti?
I've made chicken spaghetti.
You do
before.
chicken chili?
I make chicken chili. I make regular chili.
Make white bean chili?
I've made white bean. I love beans.
She love beans.
I love beans. So yes.
Well, the thing with chili is the sauce, right? That is what chili actually is. Is the
Well, and
sauce.
it depends on where you go. Down in Texas, there's no beans in the chili. It's just
Right.
meat and like a sauce.
And then you pour it over. You use rice. Some people use pasta.
Down in
Others-
Texas, they just eat it like that.
Really?
It's just a
Cornbread, right?
big old, maybe some cornbread, big old
What
bowl
would you
of
say? Some
meat.
corn?
It looks like sloppy
some
Joe, but
cornbread.
it's chili seasoning.
Just get you some cornbread. So I'm not even gonna have.
No,
the-
she had. Okay, I ain't gonna get started.
No,
Y'all-
I ain't gonna get
y'all-
you started.
You guys are the
Are
jiffy
you
people.
talking about her or Tasha?
Probably both of them. They like jiffy. They like jiffy.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Pretend
no,
cornbread is what I call it.
That is
Delicious.
that is the best cornbread.
You like Jiffy too?
I love Jiffy, man. And I,
there we
Yeah,
go.
we got
We got one.
three
We got one.
jiffies
I
in
tell
here.
you, I used to tell people, man, growing up, we thought Jiffy was for poor people because you could get like 10 for
For a
$1.
dollar, yeah.
And so we thought that's what the poor people.
Mhm.
And my mama would. And the way my mother makes her cornbread is how my family over here does it. It's like a pancake.
Mhm.
You know,
Hot water
she-
cornbread.
No.
Oh,
regular.
just like a
and she would
regular
just do it.
pancake.
She would do it on the
Pancake
griddle.
style.
Right.
Mhm.
As opposed to,
Make the
putting it in
Mhm.
the whole thing in
Right.
cast iron skillet. So I think it was
So what
bread.
about when she made dressing? Then she would make it as a clunk or what? Or
No, she would not. You don't use Jiffy for dressing.
Well, I'm okay. I just make cornbread.
No, she would use
You
regular
don't use
cornbread
Jiffy.
for her dressing, but you don't use Jiffy.
So she'd make it from scratch.
But there are some people I remember, and it's interesting. I'm having this memory. I was in Detroit. I was a little kid, and whoever made that cornbread, that dressing, it was the sweetest dressing I'd ever had in my whole life.
They probably use Jiffy.
Yeah, or a lot of sugar
Or a lot of sugar.
in the cornmeal. But my
Who put sugar in the dressing?
What did he?
she
I
did it in the
don't.
cornmeal. You don't put it in the dressing, but the corn, it was sweet. It
I
was
don't
very
make
sweet.
My cornbread's not sweet.
No,
Yeah.
Not when you make a dressing.
Right,
Mm-mm.
because that's sage, right? A lot of people use sage.
In the
That's
for
some
the-
of it. You got to use your celery.
Onions,
Yeah.
a variety of things.
Right.
But like now, if you look in my freezer now, there's cornbread. So I always make a full pan. I'm probably not going to eat the full pan, so I just cut it in half and throw in the freezer so I have it for dressing.
What's better? Oh, so you say that for dressing. I was going to say, do you reheat it?
Do I
Reheat it.
reheat what, the cornbread?
Yeah.
No, I use it for dressing,
So she can take it out and let it sit out a couple days and
Mhm.
get room.
and then
temperature
I'll
or
use it to
whatever.
make dressing.
And she's just gonna break it up anyway.
hmm
Boil the
That's
chicken.
how I make my dressing
You know.
with cornbread. So I might as well. I might make a whole pan of cornbread. I'm probably not going to eat it by myself. So, but I like my own cornbread. So
Well,
then
you
I
could
just
always invite us by.
That's true. I
When
could.
you have a whole pan of cornbread, I'm
That-
sure there's
yeah.
some sides to go with that.
You gonna,
Yes.
eat, you gonna eat all that cornbread?
Cornbread.
You eat all that cornbread
Cornbread.
you got over there.
Did
So
y'all
I
do
just
that?
store it
Keith?
away.
You gonna eat that
You go, oh man.
in school, especially one of them mock chicken leg days.
No,
Nobody
no,
traded
no.
lunches on mock chicken leg day.
But you were talking about making friends. I was very smart and intentional.
Mm.
The receptionist in the office, that was my friend,
Mm.
Miss Kamasa.
He knew what to do.
So you get to the extra lunch ticket.
I'd get 2 or 3.
Mm.
Miss Kamasa, come on. No, go
I'm
on
real
back to
hungry.
class. She's real country.
Uh-huh.
Go on back to class now. Cut it out. Oh, here you go.
My 9th grade year, I was a lunch monitor.
Mhm.
So we get free lunch anyway.
Uh-huh. So, you could ask for give
I
me
do
2 of
free
them
lunch and
legs.
I got, oh man, it's I do a thing. We play Child Support Jeopardy, and we have a category called Milwaukee Unique, and we talk about the things we say and do unique.
Mhm.
And the number one question is mock chicken legs. I know if you went to MPS, not if you grew up in Milwaukee, because if you went to parochial schools in Milwaukee, you didn't know what a mock chicken leg was.
Mhm.
Greenfield didn't know.
Well, who was
Ooh.
determining the menus?
Oh man, they had those cooks. They had
I get it, but I mean, was that a mandate from central office as to what
Yeah.
nutritious and so forth? So they because I noticed that typically all the schools had it the same day.
Yeah, probably the USDA or something probably
Yeah.
had.
Mm.
And they use a lot of commodities. I used to watch them deliver, so you would see like the peanut butter bars.
Oh, no,
You could see
those-
those recipes all over the Milwaukee public school peanut butter bars.
Those peanut butter bars were,
Yeah.
but you could see them bringing in the commodities, and they were created. And then depending on where you went, Parkman was like a regional kitchen, so they would cook for Keith, I think, and Ben Franklin, because those schools were so close.
I remember the little green truck with the racks in there, and they would have
the
loaded
food
down the
out.
food. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went to. We were very fortunate when I was in the 6th grade. Camps classes would apply to go to 4-H camp. Excuse me, up in the Dales, and it was regular school, so your teachers went, but the cooks also went. So we had MPS cooks who were up with us, who cooked the same meals we had when we were in the city.
Mm.
Yeah. Camp Upham Woods, beautiful.
I've been there.
Yeah, been Upham Woods. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Upham,
right?
Upham.
Upham, right there on the
Mhm.
Wisconsin River, and you got, oh man, it's gorgeous. All right, y'all want to talk about lung cancer now?
Why not?
Or we're gonna do break? What we gonna do?
Yeah, we probably should do break.
Okay. Hey, you're listening to Community Voice. We're inside Be Healthy, Be You. Miss Brenda Buchanan, Miss Shakina Williams. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You like a tiger ice?
y'all laughing, but
Who's
Radio.
I'm the only one laughing.
but
Who's
Radio.
I'm the only one laughing.
I heard Boogie over here.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but radio has helped me so much in my public speaking.
Mhm.
It really has.
That's good.
Excuse me.
That's good.
She sounded like a little kid. That's good, honey. You keep on slugging.
You got this. You got this.
You keep on talking.
That's me. You got this.
Oh, little guy, you can do it. You can do it.
I think I can.
If you put your mind to it,
yeah.
just buckle down,
Yes.
buckle down,
Buckle down.
buckle down, and do it.
I have to have a conversation with Kennedy, though. I want Kennedy to believe that she's smart. That's something we don't do with girls enough. We don't tell girls that it's okay to be smart, right? More, let's be pretty. No, be smart. But Kennedy is taking it to a different level. Kennedy goes, and I'm smarter than you. And I don't want her to get beat up telling people that she's smarter than them. Just be smart. Everybody can be smart, Kennedy.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm smarter than you. You going down. So anyway, let me do this real quickly. We are dealing with, we're in open enrollment for Medicare. I think many of the health insurance, private health insurance, public health insurance, this is open enrollment. Open enrollment for Medicare ends on December the 7th, I think.
it is.
That's the date.
Mhm.
So if most people are kind of setting their plans. I know people are probably getting a whole lot of solicitations now, trying to get you to change your plan, update your plan. But this is open enrollment, and I think it's also for employers a lot of times.
Yeah, employers. And I think open enrollment is about to start in November, so next week or maybe this week, with the marketplace.
Yes. So it becomes important, and it's the importance of health insurance. We don't think about it until we need it.
Mm-hmm.
The young lady who was down in Bayview and the hit and run.
Oh, that was hit.
And Jack White did it. I always liked them. They were the White Stripes before his sister left the group.
Oh,
Jack White. But anyway, he did a benefit for,
oh, nice.
And I think it was like $15,000 that he donated. And then they did a benefit at the Vanguard. It was at the Vanguard.
Okay.
So, but her medical bills
Oh, they're
are going to be
just atrocious.
astronomical. I mean, and thank God that one of the things that the Biden administration did was to no longer have your medical bills count against your credit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's something that's really outside of your control a lot of times, especially a situation like that where there was hit and run. I think there's also, because there's a crime, there's a victim fund that will pay,
That she can get.
that will cover your medical bills as a victim if they prosecute the person, if they catch the person. So it's important to have health insurance. Younger people don't think it's important because younger people feel like they're invincible.
Right. And it really only takes one catastrophe.
One catastrophe, one catastrophic event.
Yeah,
And,
I know my son, when he was, I don't know, probably in his 20s, he was really sick, had to have an MRI and all of that. And it got the bill and it was like $25,000. And he freaked out. I'm like, you got insurance, just wait. That's just, insurance is going to kick in. But when he saw that, I think he would never, ever be without insurance again.
And I was in the hospital for 3 days. I wasn't in ICU. And when I saw the itemized bill, I was going, ooh.
Mhm.
But when you have health insurance, you're getting, and I hate to put it this way, but that level of care that you get, it really depends on, and my wife worked for a healthcare system. And they just had incredible insurance. So
It's like when we have children, the bill, you see that you get charged for every single thing.
right. So now parents are not going to be complaining about how long they was in labor. Did you see what this bill? You see what you cost me?
Right.
It used to be I was in labor 4 days. Now it's like, you see this bill?
That's right.
And you acting like
better
this?
get a job.
You better get a job. I know you 4, but you got to pay for this bill.
Right. Right. It makes you think on, is this really an emergency or should I give it another day? It does make you pause.
Man. My mother back in the day, like going to regular doctor visits, that wasn't, unless something was wrong with you, You didn't go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had someone, as you know, you get people call you all the time for things, and her daughter had I think she just maybe had the tonsils removed or something like that, and she wasn't eating real well or drinking, and so her mother was concerned, and she didn't look dehydrated to me, and I said, you could take her to urgent care. Well, she took her to the ER, and she wasn't dehydrated, but the doctor said if we could give her some fluids just to preventative, because she did have this. Well, the insurance company didn't cover it because she wasn't dehydrated.
Right.
So then they got a big bill for that. So you have to think about that. Sometimes you ask for things, but if it's not medically warranted, even if the doctor grants it, doesn't mean your insurance company's going to pay for it.
Anybody's ever seen that ambulance? You're like, next time, call me a cab.
That's right.
Call Lyft.
Uber. Somebody. Right.
I was in labor. My mom was driving. I'm like, yeah. Drive me there.
Drive me. What about the ambulance? No.
And we do get that.
Oh,
people,
look,
I'm not taking an
We
ambulance.
can make it.
My roommate, who he passed about 3 years ago, Buck had a medical emergency. Buck got on the bus with his dog. They said he gets to the hospital and said, Mr. Buxom, next time, just call an ambulance, all right?
Mhm.
I don't know why he thought he'd catch a bus and he's going to get there.
Yeah. I had a friend who was vacationing up north and had to have emergency surgery, and of course it was a small rural hospital, so they had to bring her down, but she was unstable enough that they had to bring her by ambulance, and it was like a 2-hour drive. And I can't even tell you what that the bill was. Unbelievable.
And this is also cruise season.
Mhm.
People need to understand you need a rider.
You need to take insurance, or the insurance they offer you when you sign up.
Right.
Because if you're in another country or your insurance is not going to pay for that.
Right. And they're looking at it like 7 miles
Mhm.
outside of, that's 7 miles, then you're outside of territorial waters. And I'm trying to think, when we went to Puerto Rico, did we? Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
So people don't think about that when you go on a cruise and you're going, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to be okay. But the number one thing is the foodborne,
Mhm.
where people are getting these intestinal kind of things. They say, I got sick. That's the buffet.
Yeah.
Where people there. So if you're traveling, especially if you're traveling outside the country, make sure that either on your health insurance, you get that rider, which allows you to travel, or if who's ever making your travel arrangements, they offer you health insurance, take it.
Mhm.
You say, I don't think I'm in great shape until something happens.
Right.
And we had a situation where a guy was down in Mexico and
Push him across the border.
he hit his head. And so they had to stabilize him in Mexico, and then the cost of bringing him from Mexico here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and we don't think about it again. That's why the importance of health insurance when people are talking about this. And I know for many, many years, especially when it first started, we would be very pejorative for some people when it came to so-called Obamacare, but you want to have health insurance. And whether you're young, whether you're old, that's why it's a good thing that you can stay on your parents' health insurance until you're 26 years old.
Mhm.
Now, my mom at the county did offer that, where you could stay on beyond. So when I was in college, I was able to stay on my mom's health insurance.
Oh.
While I was in college. So,
Yeah.
But that makes a real big difference.
It
You
does.
don't, and like I said, you were talking about back in the day not going to the doctor. If Kennedy gets a sniffle,
Mhm.
she's at urgent care.
Mm.
But back then it was like, no. I could, boy, the stories I could tell
Because
you.
back then it was more remedies, right? Like they just had like a remedy for everything.
Well, they still have it. It's just that they weren't going to pay to take you,
yeah.
and they was mad at you if you were sick. So you were not. Honestly, as a child, I think I used to get tonsillitis. That's probably the only time I ended up, at the doctor's office. We didn't even do regular exams.
Right.
You got your vaccines at school. That's how they were administered. So you didn't have to go to the doctor to get your vaccines. You just did it at school.
So as a young woman, you know, as you certainly when you reach puberty, shouldn't young women be going to see a gynecologist?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not until
Not that early.
they're old, where they are looking
Well, you
at
said-
like
Why you say not that early?
Yeah, because we can just see our primary care
right,
physician for
unless
those
they're
Okay,
if they're
okay.
sexually active, if there's something going on. But for the most part, you don't need to. There are young people that are in college that still see their pediatrician because their pediatrician will usually carry them through college. But unless they need like a birth control or they're having some sort of issue like that, their primary doctor manages all of that. And a lot of your primary doctors also do pap smears and that sort of thing too. So unless you need an OBGYN, you're, looking for pregnancy, looking to get pregnant or something like that. Yeah, they usually don't go.
I know this is controversial in terms of this, but this is something that primarily the HPV vaccination and how important that is. And I know there's some people who are, well, if you do it, because the reason that particular virus is spread sexually, right? And so there are people fearful if they give them the shot that's giving them a license to be sexually
which is
active.
always silly because there's still all the other sexually transmitted diseases out there.
Okay.
Right.
But it has gotten better. But when it first came out, especially in the African American community, huge pushback. But I don't even think the doctors were comfortable in talking to patients about it as a form of cancer prevention, not to just keep you from getting a sexually transmitted disease that can be treated, but for cancer prevention. Doctors have come a long way and more comfortable with talking about that too. But you got to present it to parents in a way that that's what this is for, not because, my kids aren't sexually active. Well, you don't have to have intercourse to get HPV.
And at some point, they're going to be exposed to it. Whether
That's right.
as
They
a
think
teenager.
everybody is exposed. Most people are exposed by their 26 or so. That's why they kind of had the initial cutoff of the vaccine at 26. Now they give it later than that. But they expect most people to be exposed to it in their lifetime.
And I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, the human papilloma virus.
Yeah,
and we're talking about cancer. Why is that important?
Right. Yeah, and I had a young lady that I worked with that her husband had HPV and he was a carrier of it. Didn't know that. Well, when they got married, she ended up with HPV, and of course, then there was all this. He was cheating on her. But the issue was, she started having some abnormal pap smears. And then that's how they found out that she had HPV. And then they tested her husband and found out he had been, a carrier of it for a long time. So it's to prevent cancer. That virus, there are there's maybe there's 40, 50 different viruses that fall in that family, but there's only a handful of them that actually cause cancer. And so, but the majority of women's cervical cancer, over 90% of them are caused by HPV. And so that shows it's a huge correlation. So if you don't have HPV, you've only got 5-10% chance of getting cervical cancer, but the virus is what causes that. We're also seeing it a lot with throat cancers now, different types of oral cancers with HPV.
We were going to talk about lung cancer. It used to be that lung cancer in some instances was a death sentence. Certainly there was severe morbidity that went along with it. Progress has been made now in terms of our treatment. And obviously, I think even our prevention, because you're seeing more and more people not smoking all the things that might contribute
and
to
a lot of the
cancer.
things in the factories that people were exposed to. OSHA now has requirements for workers that they have to have certain types of breathing apparatus or things like that make it less likely that they're exposed to things like asbestos and other things, in the construction industry or chemicals in some of the factories.
And we saw a lot of the people who worked at Ground Zero in New York.
A lot of lung cancer.
Developed lung cancer just because of all the
All that they
carcinogens
inhaled.
that they had inhaled just working in there. And I don't even know. I didn't see a lot of people with masks, and certainly not the masks that could go in and prevent.
Right. Well, when that happened, it was just you just all hands on deck. People were just there
Right.
doing whatever they had to do. And with lung cancer, certainly still, if it's diagnosed late, is often terminal. The best thing is if you can remove it. You got different lobes in your lungs, like you just don't have one big lung. So if it's in that like the bottom lobe, they can go in and remove that. That's the best case scenario. But treatments are much better. But it's the later diagnosis that really, and there's different types of lung cancer. There's some types that are more likely to cause death than others.
We were talking about healthcare. I was having a conversation with someone. I was talking to them about rural healthcare, and particularly in West Virginia, parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, where there are still men primarily who are dealing with black lung,
Minors.
which is that would be more that like the what is it, the was it OP, the breathing piece.
The breathing apparatus?
No. What is it? Disease? Coronary? It's not coronary. It's something.
Pulmonary disease?
No, with your lungs. It's CP something.
Oh,
people-
COPD.
COPD.
Chronic
Okay.
obstructive pulmonary disease.
Say that again for us.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Now, what is that?
It can be caused by many different things, but really it's kind of just a deterioration of the lungs over time. It just keeps getting worse and worse. That's why we call it chronic. It's long term, but it can be caused by smoking, get caused by chemicals, exposure to different things. So, you might once your lungs get bad, they can just continue to worsen. So it's kind of a catch-all when we see COPD. But those people, it is progressive. So you don't get diagnosed and stay right where you're at. It's progressive, and for many of those people it becomes debilitating where they need like a personal care worker to help them dress, oxygen. They can't clean their own house because they can't maybe walk in here to the doors, too much for them. They get winded trying to take a bath or change their clothes, so they need assistance just to live.
Even with sleeping, right? They got CPAP or
Right.
BiPAP,
Mhm.
those things.
What are some of the symptoms then, beyond people going and having their lungs x-rayed? What would be some of the symptoms if people are, suffering from lung cancer?
Coughing, right?
A cough that does not go
dryness.
away is most definitely something you should always have evaluated. Coughing up blood. So, it won't be specific to lung, but if you're really tired, you can't walk far distances. That could be heart or lung, but all of that has to be evaluated. But definitely, if you have a cough that doesn't go away, and you know that you didn't just have bronchitis, because that may take 3-4 weeks for that cough to go away, you should definitely have that evaluated, whether it's an older adult or kid. In nursing school, one of my worst cases, which is why I don't work for children's, was a little boy, 2-year-old, that the cough would not go away, and his parents took him in, and he had lung cancer, and he died on a day that I was working, and that was rough. That was a lot to take. So I don't care how old they are. If you have something like that, you should never ignore it. And I just want to say, a lot of times people, when they stop smoking, they're like, I feel worse than I did when I was smoking, because those lungs are trying to clear everything out. For
And your
weeks,
body's
you
going
might,
through withdrawal.
that's
Yep,
right.
that's
You
right.
might be coughing up black stuff. Your lungs, your asthma may kick up, all of that. Your lungs are trying to heal. That will get better. But that initial, when you first stop smoking, can be rough for a person.
You all are doing vaccine clinics?
Yes, we are at St. Francis tomorrow, but then I think the week after we're at St. Joe's from 10 until 3, doing flu vaccines in the main lobby area.
You're not doing COVID?
No COVID, just flu.
Let me strongly suggest or urge that you get at least your flu shot. I was just, they were having a conversation around the number of people who died initially from COVID those first 2 years. And I think we got up close to 1 million
that were documented.
That died.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about every year, flu, like 30,000 people die. And that's still a large number of people.
It is. And this year has kicked up pretty good. I mean, it's definitely more than it was last year. So you should get your flu shot. And the fallacy that when I get the flu shot, I get sick. It's not a live virus. It cannot cause disease. It should kick up your immune system. So sometimes you may feel achy or your arm may hurt. Just like when your kids get their vaccines, they might be a little irritable. It's the same kind of thing. It's showing your immune system is kicking into gear, but you cannot get the flu from the vaccine.
Anything in terms of blanket of love?
Nothing coming up.
Nothing coming up. Nothing. Yeah, nothing that I could think of. No.
Although we are going to have our first full blanket of love and Racine coming up.
Yes.
And next week, maybe. I can't remember the exact date, but we've been doing we had a big baby shower in Racine, and then we also did some meet and greets. And so we'll start our first formal blanket of love program in Racine. So that's good.
Well, anything you want to share with us? You all have been so gracious as to allow us full coverage of the election next week, so you won't be with us next week.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you want to share with folks?
Senior stock box at St. Joseph's Hospital every first Wednesday of the month between 10 and 12. If you're new, all we need is ID and, meet the requirements. And that's it. I don't have anything.
No. And I say go vote.
Yeah. Please vote. It was a pleasure. This closes out my month with you guys.
Gonna miss you.
She'll be
Miss you,
back.
Tasha.
Miss
Gonna miss you, Tasha.
Shakina's here.
I already know I've got Thanksgiving baskets coming up, and I think there's a Tuesday that I won't be here. So,
No, we get
Shakina, you'll have her back
we get
next month.
Shakina that day.
Yeah, you'll have her and Julia
In
probably
her
that
official
day.
capacity.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Brenda Buchanan, Ms. Shakina Williams. Let me thank Michelle. Let me thank Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. Debo, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Boogie, thank you. Appreciate you.
You got a new name for him?
Huh? For who?
What did you just call him?
Boogie.
Boogie?
That's not Carly.
Oh, I didn't even see his
That's not
hat.
Yeah, you see he's stuck in the
I just
chair.
saw the hat.
I was like,
thought
Carly
he
got a
was-
little small today.
I didn't see him when I came in. I thought he was
Wow.
just all into the screen. I'm like, oh, makes sense.
y'all, ain't nothing to see here. Y'all just keep moving.
Eat your carrots.
Right, you can see that.
Well, hey, I can't see. That's
You
the
might
thing.
turn orange,
Behind
but you will definitely be able to see. Oh my God.
hide behind the computer.
Yeah, you see his hand the whole time.
I know you didn't see a head. All I saw is a hand.
Again, let me thank everybody for being part of the program today. The good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.